Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a really lovely day. Today I want to talk about the gifts I received for my birthday during my no-buy. Now, before we get started, I do have to mention, because some people will see this video in a certain way, that this is not me trying to boast or brag about what I got. I just simply want to sort of discuss from someone who's experienced, if you like, my first minimalist birthday and a birthday during a no-buy where the purchases I want to make have been quite restricted. So that's just the viewpoint I'm coming from. So please bear that in mind as you watch this video. So one way to view this is as a person doing a no-buy, your birthday is a fantastic opportunity to maybe get a few of those things that might be on your wish list. And for me, that was true for one item on my wish list, but I was also very much in the mindset that I wasn't really looking to receive a lot of gifts, because in the past I have received many gifts, and some of them have sort of been put in a cupboard, left to one side and not really used. And so whilst I'm on that as well, I just want to point out that I am absolutely 100% grateful for every gift I've ever received, regardless of what it is, because even before you consider the gift itself, you've got to consider that someone has not only thought about a gift that they believe you'll enjoy, they've gone out of their way and spent time out of their lives to get that gift for you, and they've put their hard-earned money into purchasing that gift for you and getting it to you. So even before you consider what the gift is, I think it is really important that we're absolutely 100% grateful for every gift we receive. But before my birthday, some of the things I started to notice as I have been decluttering, as you may know, I've done a lot of decluttering over on this channel, and even things you don't see, I am decluttering in my space all of the time. I have come across items that could be years and years and years old that were gifted to me, maybe sort of beauty items, bath items, accessories, things that have been gifted to me that I just haven't used, and people buy them because it sort of adds to a gift, it looks nice and things like that, and I am the sort of person that might not necessarily get through those items. Even though I do honestly appreciate them, they may just not always get used up. So I was very much of the mindset going into this birthday thinking I would be really happy with just a very small number of gifts. I would not be disappointed at all if I wasn't sort of drowning in presents, because I am trying to be more minimal, and I don't really want to get to the point where someone's bought me a gift and I'm already in the mindset thinking, am I going to donate that? Like, what's going to happen to that if I don't use it? So I kind of got myself into that mindset, and I really want to point out that lockdown definitely served me well, because I have some very generous people in my family. People that generally buy gifts for me in my family are my mum and dad, my sister, my gran and granddad, and my husband, all of whom are very generous people. And even if they buy you sort of a main present, they will still go out of their way to try and find you little bits and pieces that they think I'll enjoy, because they're just so generous and so lovely. And in a way, lockdown kind of served me well, because they weren't able to go out into those shops and make those little purchases like that. And what I've realised as a result of that is I was perfectly happy with just the main presents that I received, and I didn't really need those extra little knickknacks and bits and bobs that people go out of their way to buy. And so let me just reiterate, although I am absolutely grateful for every single thing like that I've ever received, I did realise that they aren't necessary for me, and as I'm trying to be more minimal, I really enjoyed the fact that I just had a small number of items for my birthday gifts that I absolutely loved. So let's get into the items I received, and I'll tell you why I think they are such fantastic presents. So my main present was this here. This is a camera, the Canon M50. Now I say present, this wasn't entirely gifted to me. I first got the idea of wanting to buy a new camera in January. I had been looking just before Christmas, but that was mainly for personal use in terms of like going on trips and special events and wanting to be able to capture some really high quality photos with my family and things like that, because my other digital camera, you know, other than my phone, my actual digital camera prior to this was getting old. It was very outdated and the quality wasn't great. And then of course I started YouTube and I started to think of the sort of cameras that could facilitate YouTube and be brilliant for family photos and things like that. And I did my research and I came across this one, so the Canon M50, and it had all the functionality that I wanted, and the price was a little high for me. It's probably not high for a lot of people for a camera, but for me I thought it was a little bit steep, but it did everything I wanted it to do, and if I wanted to bring the price down a bit, I'd have to sacrifice one of the functions on it. And so I decided that this would be the one I was going to buy, and that would be that, because if I went for a cheaper one that didn't have all the specifics I wanted, it wouldn't be long before I then realised I wanted to get a better one, so I thought I'll just go straight in and do it, which I know might sound a bit strange for someone who's only been doing YouTube for 6 months, but I decided this was what I was going for. My husband suggested, because I think he had it in his mind that he wasn't sure what he was going to get me for my birthday, especially with lockdown making that very difficult, so he suggested that I have money towards buying this, which I thought was a brilliant idea. I got this from Amazon, and when I just so happened to be looking at the website one day early in April, I noticed that there was a big warning message on it saying that they weren't shipping these out as a priority because it's not an essential item, and the estimated delivery if I purchased it that day was the very end of May, so just under 2 weeks before my birthday. So I placed the order for it there and then, and lo and behold, it arrived on my doorstep 2 weeks later in the middle of April. So I've had it since then. I have been recording on it. I didn't see any point in just leaving it in its box. So I paid outright for this, and then any money I received from my husband for my birthday would just go back into my bank and kind of balance it out that way, but I had already paid upfront for it. And then, of course, my parents asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and my sister and my gran and the people that usually buy me a gift, and I just said it would be great if I could just have some money to go towards this, and that is what they did. And with all the money I got from all of my relatives, it came over to just over a third of the price of it, and so then I paid the difference, so it's kind of a present from me as well, which was nice because it meant everyone in my family came together and got me one really good present that I know I'm going to use, I have been using, and I absolutely love it, and it's not going to take up a lot of space. So in terms of how to get around gifts when you're trying to be more minimal, I think it is a good idea to maybe aim towards sort of one substantial present and ask for money towards that if people ask you, you know, what do you want for your birthday? And this was brilliant, so as you can imagine, I'm so thrilled with this. Now, I did get a couple of other bits and pieces as well, because pretty much everyone in my family is of the opinion that you've got to have something to unwrap on your birthday. You can't just have money in a card or put in your bank, you've got to have something to unwrap. So I got a couple of things. So from my parents, I got some chocolate. You can't go wrong with chocolate. In terms of if you're looking for a gift to buy for someone who is more minimal, food and drink is quite a good way to go, as long as you're sort of clear what they can and can't eat and what they enjoy, because it's a product that gets used up and then won't be in their space forever. So it's actually a really good gift. Any sort of consumable that you can use up. I know I've mentioned that I've got some beauty products that I didn't use up, but that's usually because it'll be like a type of product that I just in general don't use. Like I have received a lot of bath bombs. I probably only have about one bath a year. I'm very much more a shower person. Or things like body scrubs or butters, just products I don't really reach for. So I have got a lot of those sort of lying around. But food is a brilliant way to go because it's not going to be left around in that person's space if they are a more minimal person. They will use up that gift and then that'll be it. So I got chocolate from my parents. I also got a ficus. How exciting. I'm not going to stand here and hold this. I am going to put it back down. For me, receiving a plant was a fantastic gift, and my mum has known for a while. Every time we've been to a garden centre before lockdown, I have mentioned how I want a ficus. She's known for a while, and she's obviously tuned into that, and she's known I've not bought one for myself because I'm trying not to spend as much. And I know in my no-buy I said I'm allowed to buy house plants, but I have bought a couple in my no-buy, so I was kind of trying to put myself on hold a little bit with that. So she bought me that. It's brilliant. Yes, it's something that's in my space, but she knows it's something that I've wanted. She knows I love houseplants. It goes with the aesthetic I'm going for, and it's something that I'll enjoy looking at and looking after, and it was just a great idea for a present. Also from my parents was this little plaque. I don't know if it will focus. Anyway, it says, "Home is where the hedgehogs are," and it's got little hedgehogs on it. This was a brilliant gift because I don't have many decor items, and I think people that sort of know me know I don't want anything big and bright and bold. That picture behind me is probably the brightest picture in my house, and to be honest, I'm getting kind of sick of it. This is small. I actually put this above the keypad for our alarm in the hallway, so it's the first thing you see as you walk in the door. So because it's small, it wasn't difficult to find a place to put it. I really love that it's neutral, natural colours. It's not too striking, so it fits with the look I'm going for, and it's just really cute. I thought this was a really thoughtful present, and in terms of it going well in my space, this is kind of perfect, so I really loved this. Then, as I said, my gran also gave me some money to put towards my camera. She also bought me some socks. Again, a very practical gift. Everyone needs socks. It's not something that's going to be in my way. I always wear socks. She also bought me some chocolate, and that was to go with this little chocolate recipe book, which is really, really cute. It's definitely something where I'm going to have a go at the recipes, so it's not sort of an item that I won't use at all. She does know that I like to bake little bits and pieces, and she does know I am a bit of a chocoholic. So this is a lovely gift. It's not something I'll necessarily have forever. I will get a lot of good use out of it though, but it is, and I probably shouldn't think of this way since it's a gift I've just received, but it is a lovely thing that after I feel like I'm finished with it, it could go on to another home because it is just gorgeous. So I am absolutely thrilled with this item, and I will definitely get the use out of it. And again, it doesn't take up much space. I've got a cupboard with recipe books in, and this will just be popped in there. It won't be something that is really obvious and staring at me all the time. So I was really grateful for this. I then received a surprise that I wasn't expecting, which was flowers delivered to my door. Now, I know some people are a bit iffy about flowers because, you know, you cut them down, you take them out of the environment, and it's not like a plant, because with a plant you keep it alive and sort of it contributes to your atmosphere, it can clean the air and everything, and flowers, you kind of cut them down to die. But if you're looking for a gift for a minimalist, it is, I think, a really good way to go because it's a temporary decorative item, and it's a very nice sort of caring, warm gift, but it's temporary. You're going to provide a decorative item for that person's space, but after a while they are going to wilt and drop off, and then they won't be in their space forever, so they can enjoy them for a period of time, and then that'll be it. And that's why I think it's such a lovely gift. I'll show you the ones I got. They're just on the side here. So I think they are, where's the front gone? There we go. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. They are 6 days old now, so they are starting to drop off a little bit, but oh, they smell beautiful. I really, really appreciated these because I have, as you can see, quite a plain living room when all my birthday cards aren't out. As I said, that picture is really the only pop of colour in here. It's very much white, grey, gold and green from the plants. And honestly, I did actually appreciate and enjoy having this little pop of pink in my living room. And I know for a fact if I bought something more permanent that brought a little pop of colour to my living room, I would be sick of it after a while. So it's nice having like this temporary pop of colour, a little bit of a change up, and then knowing after these are done, I'll just go back to my normal, calm, I don't want to say boring, minimal aesthetic in my living room. So really lovely gift, really appreciative of this, and I just thought they were a really gorgeous bouquet of flowers. So those were from my mother-in-law, well, from all of my in-laws really, it was from all of them. And the last gift I received was from my sister. So again, she also gave me some money to go towards my camera, but she also bought me a book. But it's very bright, my lighting in here, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I did post it on my Instagram. So it's Goodbye Things on Minimal Living by Fumio Sasaki. I hope I'm saying that right. And when I opened this, I was just so excited to read it. I was very tempted to just dive right in and read it straight away, and I'd have probably ended up reading it in like a day. But I do have a book I'm already reading. It's a fiction book. I'm very near to the end, but I'm not very good at having more than one book on the go at the same time. So I'm going to finish that one first and then start this one. But I was just so excited by this. It shows me so much that she knows what I'm interested right now, and it's kind of like a subtle acknowledgement that she sees what I'm going for. She knows I'm trying to be more minimal, and it's kind of like, yes, I've seen that, so I'm going to buy you this book, and it's a minimalism book, and that's just great. I don't know if that's what she was thinking when she bought it, but it's kind of how it spoke to me. Like, she sees what I'm trying to go for, and this is just the perfect present. So I was so thrilled. I cannot wait to read this. I'm kind of like, do I just ditch my other book that is okay, I'm enjoying it, it's not the most thrilling book I've ever read, but I'm kind of like wanting to sack that one off so I can read this one, but I've told myself I must finish the book I'm reading, so I'm really excited to get started on this. And that was the presents I received for my birthday, and I think, as you can probably tell from my expression, I'm absolutely so happy and thrilled about every single one of them. And it just goes to show that I didn't need to be surrounded by piles and piles of presents to really be excited by the gifts I received and be really thankful for them, and know I'm going to get a lot of practical use out of all of them. I'm actually really happy that I don't have lots of bits and pieces that I don't know what to do with. And as far as my first minimalism birthday goes, amazing, because I got one thing that was on my wish list that I mentioned that I wanted, that was my camera, and I got a handful of small things that I wouldn't have thought to ask for myself, but were actually really lovely, really nice surprises. And as I said, I'm not surrounded by lots of random bits and pieces that, although I appreciate them, I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do with all of these things. So I am really pleased. I've had such a good birthday, and that is pretty much all I want to say on it. Let me know in the comments what your sort of views are, particularly if you're more minimal on both buying and receiving gifts. Sort of, do you tell your family that you don't particularly want a lot of gifts, or do you assume they know it and kind of hope for the best, but you don't want to necessarily say anything because you don't want to seem ungrateful? Like, how do you sort of handle it from a minimalist point of view? Because I was very lucky in that lockdown kind of did that for me. It kind of restricted people from buying me lots of presents, and I don't want to in the future have to be like, no, don't get me anything, I don't want anything. Like, it almost seems rude and ungrateful. So how do you sort of address that if you are more minimal and you don't necessarily want lots and lots of little bits and pieces? Sort of, how do you go about that? So let me know in the comments, and that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will leave my Instagram on the screen somewhere. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.